Welcome to Cyber Studies. The Flipper Zero is one of the most useful and versatile devices for professionals and enthusiasts alike. Now, with my unhealthy obsession with making as many of my devices as see-through as possible, I couldn't help myself but to do the same with the Flipper today. All right, so for tonight, we're going to dig into this project. It took me a little under 30 minutes to do this, but it's pretty simple, straightforward. Just kind of follow along here. If you've never done a project like these before, they're a little intimidating, but again, stick around. I'll walk you through the whole process. So first, we're going to hold the back button until we're presented with the power off option. We want to make sure that's turned off. It's in an off state, so we don't accidentally short anything while working inside of our Flipper Zero. So right here we have the actual package from Amazon. So this is something I'll put in the links down below. It does have an affiliate link, so if you do purchase that, we do get a little bit of a kickback commission on that. Doesn't cost anything extra to you and supports the channel. Anyway, there's the instructions. We can put that to the side. Here's the actual case. We're going to assemble the button array there, put that on the side. And then the front plate actually comes with a screen, which is super nice, really premium quality there. The buttons and the front plate on the right there, as we saw. We also are going to have here is the back plate. What's really nice about this kit is it comes with an NFC antenna, which is super nice. It is the same exact one that comes with the Flipper, so I just keep it included, and I leave the old NFC on the back of the original case. You'll see that later. Some interfaces there. Here's some screws. I use the ones that come with the Flipper, but we'll have those just in case. I'm going to set this off to the side here. It also does come with a screwdriver and a guitar pick. Let's take out the SD card here so we don't accidentally break that. Don't tell me how I know that happens, but yeah, let's go ahead and take these 4 screws out here. Let's go ahead and screwdriver through these really quick. And we'll just go ahead and set those right here. The screws, for the most part, these are the only 4 that are different. The rest of them are relatively the same size. I'll take this out there. Now, this part is a little bit difficult to use. I use the, you can use the guitar pick here, but I use my nails. But if you don't have them, just go ahead and use a guitar pick that's included with that. And you'll see that's the NFC. We're going to use the new one, but the NFC antenna stays on the back of the original package if we ever want to switch it back or if we needed another antenna. Now, we do have these ribbon cables here, as well as our 4 screws. Yeah, right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we do have some screws that are kind of tucked in there. And then the back PCB is going to be held on with those ribbon cables. So let's take these screws out real quick. And that one's kind of recessed in there, so make sure you get that one. That one's really tucked down in there. And that one there, that's the hidden one that I didn't see before. Once you get these screws off here, you're gonna see that ICANN adapter is gonna pop right off. So we wanna make sure we disconnect those ribbon cables before we just yank that out of there. And you'll see there, nice and disassembled. Those ribbon cables, they actually turn on a 90-degree angle. It's kind of hard to see from the video here. They actually twist towards the ribbon cables, and they're pretty delicate, so again, proceed with caution. It looks like I'm kind of manhandling these, but I promise you I'm proceeding with caution. That I'm not putting a lot of force on these. I've broken enough in the past to know what I'm doing here. And so there's that. You move that to the side there. Be careful with those pins because those are spring loaded. And now we should be able, with a little bit of finesse here, be able to just wiggle this out. Right there. There you go. And we're actually going to be done with this faceplate. The replacement one does come with a IR blaster shield, so you could, in other cases, break these off and put them on. But our kit actually comes with one. You'll see right here on the side. It's a little bit smaller, but it's equally as functional. So again, we're just going to leave that on there. If we ever wanted to swap them back or whatever, it's all already included. So we'll leave it right there. It's all good. So there we are. There's the heart of our Flipper Zero. Now we do need to take off this back with the battery assembly so we can get to the back of our faceplate, well, around the screen. So let's go ahead and dig into this really quick. So on the front here, let's get a little lay of the land. You're gonna see how the battery pack and the back PCB, all of that, it's just a marvel how they were able to get so much of this technology in there. It's crazy. but you're gonna see here there is a little bit of a catch. And that orange piece right there that we're kind of fingering around, we do have a clear adapter, a clear piece that's going to replace that as well. But right there on the front, that's our PCB for data and power. So we are going to have to take that off. So again, use your nails or whatever sort of pry tool. It does have power going to it, so I would be hesitant to use anything that has metal. You do have that included guitar pick that is plastic. If you could use your thumbnail, I would, but I couldn't, so I'll just do a little pry action here. Get that out right there. And it should be able to slide right out. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it should just pop right here. Maybe I missed a screw. Again, you don't want to, you want to give these a little bit of force, but you don't want to like manhand these things because they will break and then you're kind of just stuck. So again, you know, it's a weird, it's hard to describe. You want to put a little bit of force in it, but yeah, with a little bit there, pops out. Make sure the ribbon cable comes through that channel on the side there. And that orange adapter, again, we're going to have a replacement clear piece. But again, such a marvel. I love how they're able to combine so much technologies into this small form factor. It's crazy. So we're going to put our battery right here. And we have some clips there. And then we do have, is it one? No, okay, it is just the one. It's the one screw right here. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it should just... Okay, there's the other one. Okay, cool. So there are two screws on the back of the front PCB. And once you get those off, there are these clips on the side. Once you get those off, the full front plate should pop off. There you go. And this does include the button assembly. You might be able to cannibalize those buttons off and put them onto the clear display, but because those are spring loaded, I just decided to just go the full transparent route. But if you wanted to get aftermarket buttons or anything, I'm sure it's just replacing those would be as simple as a couple screws. Again, I'm trying to proceed with caution because these are very delicate. And that was the hardest part, folks. So be extra careful here. If you do have to step away, make sure to cover this display so you don't get any dust stuck into the flipper. But we're gonna go ahead and just knock this out really quick. Just kind of do the same thing in reverse. So we are gonna snap this on here. There are some little grooves on the side right here. So you kind of wanna like go in from that side first and then kind of sandwich it down over the buttons. I also found that while I was assembling these, you want to make sure that you give the buttons a little test push, make sure that they are actually actuating with those buttons on the PCB. I have taken this apart numerous times for other folks because the buttons just kind of get stuck. So you just want to make sure there's a nice clicky action before you start screwing everything together. And we're gonna go ahead and start assembling those two screws. And again, if I'm not mistaken, all of the screws here on the PCB, these are all the same size, excluding the 4 that go to the case. So, you know, if you were to lose any, you do have some included in that extra bag that came with our kit, but I just put everything back in there. And again, you wanna make sure you're tightening these, but you also want to make sure that the buttons still actuate. Putting this front paint on is probably the hardest part just because you want to make sure you get the actuation of those buttons down right. So just don't over tighten these screws. If I could foot stomp anything in this video, it's just do not over tighten these particular screws. Whoop. That was close. That could have been so bad. And you're seeing here, I'm having a little bit of difficulty. The the screwdriver that came with it is not the best screwdriver. I just don't have a lot of good leverage with that. If you do have your own screwdriver, like a smaller screwdriver set, that'd probably be better. So now we're going to go ahead and try to Frankenstein these two together. So we're going to piece them together, and what's going to happen is the ribbon's going to pass through that channel, and then we're also going to take the what was once the orange piece there. We're going to put our clear piece in, and we're going to sandwich it between the PCB and the back pane there. So it's going to act as our lanyard guide. So right here is the actual lanyard guard. You're gonna see how it kind of slips in here. So I'm gonna try it on with the orange piece just so you can get a visual of what it's gonna look like. And again, this is where your lanyard could pass through. So now you know what it actually looks like. Let's go ahead and swap it out with the clear adapter version. And again, I do that just for visual's sake. You could theoretically use the orange one if you wanted to and give it a little bit of flair through your see-through case. But again, I'm going for that full ghost shell look. But that's just gonna kind of sandwich in there. It's a nice, clean fit. So we're gonna carefully put this through here. And again, we're going to want to feed the ribbon cable through that channel on the right there. And so we're just gonna delicately try to sandwich that in there while not moving that lanyard piece too much. Slides through that right there. And it's just gonna kind of get pinched in there. Now, ready. And so you should kind of feel a little bit of a compression. They kind of fit together real nice and neat. So I just give it a little bit of a push here. This next part, we're going to be a little bit more careful. So now that everything's kind of squeezed together, gotta make sure everything's nice and fit. We're going to reconnect that power and data cable. So again, just be a little bit extra careful. You know, we do have test confirm here. We are rocking and rolling. We're not out of the woods, but this is always a good sign. But that does automatically turn on when you plug that power in. So it's going to go ahead and try to, if this thing works here, turn the power back off. And, you know, again, your mouse will vary. I feel pretty comfortable messing with this stuff, but I would also not wear a metal ring if I was doing this. I would be weary of touching other, you know, metal or doing this on carpet. I would be really reluctant to cause any sort of ESD, any sort of electrostatic damage. But again, we're good. So now we're going to put this down here, and just for the sake of making sure everything fits nice, we're going to work with the front plate. Now we do have a protective cover on the inside. We're going to peel this off here and make sure not to touch it because we do not want to have fingerprints stuck on the inside of our screen. That'd be extremely bad. So let's not touch that. And I'm just going to go ahead and sandwich this in here. Let gravity kind of do its thing and let it kind of fall into place. And then we'll leave that front screen protector on while we're fitting this in there. And again, this is just like a nice, snug fit, gentle push. Make sure we're not dislodging anything. It should just go in pretty easy. But take your time. And then we can go ahead and peel off that front plate there. And just get a quick look at it. It's so nice. So we're gonna make sure our GPIO pins are lined up on the top there. Then we're going to start connecting that first main ribbon cable for our PCB to the back pane there. Nice and snug. And again, it's just like a little right angle, so it should just clip right in there. Let's just go ahead and get our other module and toss that in. We don't really use this one in the States, but it's nice to have just in case. But yeah, they do have a nice little springy feel to them. Make sure that's nice and fitted in there. Do not put too much pressure on that or you will break them. Same thing. You should just be able to slide this right in here. And then once that's seated, it's very effortless. That little ribbon cable clamp goes down, and then that's just nice and snug in there. Make sure it doesn't come back out. And we're out of the woods. Now all we have to do is just assemble the PCB to the case. Now this one is also a tough one because we're going to now be screwing directly into the front plate of the PCB, and the screws are going to be going into plastic, and so we want to make sure that, you know, make sure we line this up correctly. We don't put it in the wrong hole there. But we want to make sure that we're not putting too much pressure and then breaking the receptacles of the screws that go in there. So again, we're just going to put our screws back in its original spot, those 4 screws. And again, that one's just kind of tucked in there. It almost gets hidden by that ribbon cable. I missed it the first time around. And I'm kind of doing that, the tire screw pattern thing where I'm not putting all of the screws completely tight, but I am trying to match them up here to see which holes, so that we're not putting them in these accidental, the 4 exterior case screw holes. So it's basically the 4 inner screws, and then the 4 outer screws will be the ones that go to our case. Now we got them all lined up. We're gonna go back around. Let's make sure all those are nice and snug. I recommend putting all the screws in about halfway first, and then going back around and tightening them all the way. Just make sure it has a nice grip on there. Nice and snug. And if you notice any sort of issues where the buttons on the actual case themselves, just loosen those 4 screws a smidge, you should be able to fix it. Now with the NFC antenna, this actually just sits right in there, and there's 2 contact pins right there. Those are just going to rest against the interface of the back PCB. So they're kind of like spring loaded, if you can see there. And so there's no actual connections, no soldering. They just literally rest against it, and they are making those contacts, and it makes it work. And just love it. I love how you can see so much inside here. You can see that battery, everything is nice. The GPIO squares are actually numbered. Everything is just so nice on this case. I love it. Lastly here, just make sure we're doing our 4 star pattern screws in here. And such a marvel. Now let's go ahead and throw our SD card back in there before we boot it back up. Otherwise we will get an error. Get in there, come on. Sweet. And let's boot her on up. Oh, that's sick. And there you have it, your own modified Flipper Zero. Now, there are other mods that you can do with this, from the RGB LCD backlights, the different button colors, but for me personally, this is good enough. You could go for the special edition Flipper Zero, but you would have to go through the third-party marketplaces or waiting for the official store to restock. And frankly, for me, this is really nice. It's very durable, very tactile, the buttons, and it does come in an assortment of different colors. So if you were interested, click the affiliate link down below in the comments, and you'll actually be able to help the channel out with a small commission to us at no cost to you, and we greatly appreciate the support. And if you like this video today, you're going to click this video right here where we show you how to set up your Flipper Zero to run the Momentum firmware. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.